to forget my feelings of love. Teardrop, they're rolling down on my face, trying to forget my feelings of love. Feeling for my life, I feel it. I wish I never met you, baby. You'll never come again. Oh, feeling. Whoa, whoa, feeling. Oh, feeling. Again in my arms. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mental House with me, your host, Khadijah. Yes, yes, yes. I opened up with an old classic. Oh my God. And the artist's name escapes me right now. But it's a classic because all our symptoms are feeling diseases. Okay? That's what I want to talk about this afternoon. I want to talk about feelings. Feelings. That we have not come to grips with how important our emotional health, our mental health um, is to us as human beings. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Mental House. And let's do this. If you remember, since we talk about this a lot right here in the Mental House, we talk about our state of being, our state of emotions, all of it. This is where we dump the crap. I want to share something with you guys right now. I'm just going to have to get me a new camera because this is really not good. I want to share. We're going to share something today, and I want you guys to ponder on all of us to just really marinate. Let these words marinate with us today, and be more proactive in taking care of our emotions. Because there's a few things this weekend that I'm going to get into later on in some other videos that's showing me how unhealthy emotionally that we really are as a community. Okay? And so if you remember nothing else from reading this book, or if you read nothing else from reading that book, if you don't remember nothing else, remember that we have to deal with our unhealthy family structures. Okay? We have to deal with that. It is so important. Our symptoms are unhealthy mechanisms that we use to keep from feeling our feelings. We don't want to feel our feelings. That's the whole thing. They smother, hide, distort, and mix up our feelings. They turn fear and sadness into rage. They create depression from anger, fear from loneliness. In many cases, they cause a unique distortion in which the rich full range of normal human emotion is channeled into one or two overpowering feelings. In this way, loneliness, sadness, fear, shame, and rejection all get thrown into the same pot together and get expressed as anger. Okay? Actually, we don't go up the spectrum of our feelings. I would like to show you guys a chart, but y'all know I've shown it to you before. There's such a wide range of feelings and emotions that one can express, yet most of us hover around anger. The anger is then manifested into bitterness, unhappiness with one's life or with the people in one's life. It takes the form of constant criticism, constant dissatisfaction, perfectionism, belligerence, argumentiveness, combativeness, and other types of emotional abuse. In this same way, feelings of tenderness, softness, warmth, safety, closeness, and sensuality all get thrown into one pot and get expressed as lust, which is why the spouses of all kinds of addicts say that their sex is great sometimes, but that they feel lonely and empty in the relationship nonetheless. There is nothing wrong per se with anger or lust, right? I mean, per se, there's nothing wrong with, either one of those with those things. We feel that there is something wrong though. Human beings feel more than just these two. As many physicians already know too well, the toll of this emotional blunting and distortion is more than just a troubled relationship. A constantly hurried and angry style of life leads to increased rate of heart disease and heart attack. A stressful, other focused lifestyle leads to a number of stress-related disorders from hypertension and headache to gastric problems, fatigue, and chronic depression. These are all feelings problems in one way or the other, and the reason that these problems persist and are so pervasive is that to admit our real feelings is, for many of us, as terrifying thing that one can do. It's the most terrifying thing to actually have to really express your true emotions. All of them. Not just the anger ones. By the time we have developed some of the more serious consequences of feeling diseases, we are in such a state of denial that it is next to impossible to get us to admit that we even have a problem. Things will get better in my marriage when we move away from our relatives, and then I'll have more time to devote to my family. I just need this Valium to help me get through the holidays, and then I'll stop using them so often. I know my husband needs to go to sexual addiction treatment, but it's just not the right time to have all that turmoil in our lives. Things are going to be okay. He's not going out every night. We'll do it in the summer when we have the time and the energy. I know my daughter's been bringing and purging, has been binging and purging, which is bulimia. But since she's told us about it, she hasn't done it for at least 2 weeks. I really don't think that it'll be a problem anymore since she told us about it. What all these people are doing is denying their feelings. In dysfunctional systems, we learn early and we learn well that to survive in the system, we must pay a small price. We learn to deny, ignore, or escape our feelings. We learn to shut down, and that gnawing little voice inside of us keeps saying, "You're hurt. God damn it. It's time to do something." So we go out our daily business learning to hope that things will get better, while that little voice, our feelings, continues to send us opposite messages. When we ignore it long enough, the messages become manifest in our own bodies and in our behaviors, in the behaviors of our spouses and in our children. Our feelings become acted out in headaches, stomach aches, ulcers, fatigue, depression, and helplessness. They become acted out by our children in power struggles, compulsive disorder, shyness, anger, and chemical abuse. And we persist. We tell ourselves, we got to keep going. We got to keep grinding. We got to keep going. I got to do this. Our mental health always taking a back seat to what is important, to what should be just as important as anything else. Matter of fact, it should be the most important. If I can just hold out for a little longer, I know things will get better. I know they will. I know they will. Yeah. One of our favorite sayings, which we use in our therapy groups, is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So while admitting to our true feelings to ourselves and others is frightening for what might happen, the long-term impact of not admitting them is disastrous. We are reminded of the couple who vowed never to get too angry with each other because they had both come from angry, combative families. After 15 years of apparent bliss and marital harmony, their marriage ended up in our office filled with uncontrollable rage, rage composed of 15 years of normal irritations and resentments that had been denied and hidden in their well-intended vow. Their daughter was suicidal. Their son was flunking out in school. Yet they hadn't had the foggiest notion of what was going wrong. All during the first season, they repeatedly reminded us that their vow and how hard they had worked to keep it all these years. And it was painfully apparent, we should add, that the little voices inside of them knew better and were looking for a way to break the vow without breaking their marriage. Inability to identify our feelings and the inability to express them are two kinds of key diagnostic features of a dysfunctional family or a dysfunctional individual. I'm not angry, he yells, gritting his teeth. I'm okay, she says with flashed, emotionless, depressed look and a tone. One of the most common statements of the early stages of therapy is, why do you keep asking me how I feel? I don't know how I feel. I just don't know.